music down just a bit. Just a tiny bit. What's up, everybody? This is Francisco from Sports Goofs. It's kind of like a Sports Goofs After Dark type of deal. I can't really sleep right now, and I have something on my mind that I want to just review and research before I decide to go to sleep. And it's Patrice Bergeron. This is a Sports Goofs mini, and I do want to focus on him, although we can talk about some of the other stuff that's going on in sports as of now. You could see the score crawl above me. Right now, there's all the games have been completed from the past 24 hours, and you see various scores up there in baseball. The Cardinals won 4-0 over the Giants. The Braves beat the Padres. I think 6-5 there. The A's beat the Angels. Tigers beat the Orioles. The Marlins beat the Brewers. They were celebrating their 25th anniversary of their World Series, the first World Series championship. So that was good. Then the Jays beat the Rays. The Pirates beat the Reds. The Reds have still not reached double-digit victories, but they've played better as of late, and it really has to do with their competition. They're facing the Pirates, although they did have a series against the Brewers, and they did well against Milwaukee, so I got to commend them for that. The Nationals beat the Astros in the World Series rematch, and they spanked them right there. The Red Sox spanked the Rangers 11-3. The Mets beat the Mariners, so they still remain in first place. The Guardians beat the Twins in 10 innings. The White Sox beat the Yankees, so the White Sox are back to 500. The Yankees have still not lost double digits so far. They're 24-9. The Cubs beat the Diamondbacks, and the Royals lost to the Rockies, and the Phillies beat the Dodgers. I think the Phillies are on a bit of a hot streak right now as well. So those are the baseball scores. Nothing happened in the NBA. So tomorrow's the big day for the NBA. You got 2 Game 7s between the freaking Bucks and the Celtics, and then you have the Mavericks and the Suns, and then the NHL has their own set of Game 7s. We already had a set of Game 7s today, but as far as tomorrow, you got the Penguins and the Rangers, and then the Stars and the Flames. But Game 7s that happened today, the Oilers beat the Kings 2-0, the Lightning beat the Leafs 2-1, and the Hurricanes eliminated the Boston Bruins, winning 3-2 today. And I was watching the highlights from the Bruins game, and there was a few things on Twitter as well as about the state of, Patrice Bergeron. And it got me thinking, does Patrice Bergeron make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame? He's been in the league a long time. He's 36 years old. He's going to be 37 in July. Okay, he comes from Ancien Lorette, Quebec. And he's been with the Bruins forever. He was drafted in 2003, part of that fantastic class from that year. And he won the Stanley Cup with them back in 2011. He's got 4 Selk trophies, a King Clancy, and also a Marc Messier award from 2021. And he's played for a few Stanley Cups already. And he's played 1,000 games, 1,216 to be exact. Got 400 goals, 582 assists, 982 points, and 254 plus minus. He's a plus 254 for his career. So he's been in front of a lot of good teams, and he's been a good player on the ice for sure. And well, he's trying to find out what his career year could have been. So let's see. Sorry there, I forgot to put myself on the screen here, but let's zoom in on this right here. Sorry about that. I'm trying to work with some new things, trying to experiment while I'm not on the show right now, the main show. So as far as his regular season this year, he played 73 games. And let me take a look at his contract situation, because let's see, transactions. So I mean, don't think Hockey Reference has anything with regards to his contract, so we're gonna have to go to, of course, the number one standby for NHL fans, Cap Friendly. So let's go to Cap Friendly and figure out what Patrice Bergeron's situation is. So just type in his last name, he should pop up there. And here we go. So Patrice Bergeron, of course, he's the captain of the Bruins. So that of course is something significant there. His cap hit is at $6,875,000. He's made over the course of his career $93 million playing hockey, so he's done a pretty damn good job, if I have to say so myself. And yeah, I mean, he's been playing since he signed his entry-level contract back when he was 18 years old. So that was like half his life ago, pretty much. And he's got a no movement clause, and well, this is it. This 2021-22 season was the final as part of his of this contract that he signed. That was 8 years ago now, an 8-year contract for $55 million, and it's done now. And it kind of leaves you wondering, would he retire, or would he go someplace else? And it's really hard to imagine Patrice Bergeron playing for anyone else. And I'm trying to get a gauge as to what he was thinking. He was when the Bruins got eliminated after the handshake line with the Carolina Hurricanes, he was waiting in the entryway to go into the tunnel there for the Bruins players, and he was hugging every single one of his teammates. So it makes you question whether he is ending his career, or at the very least, whether he is planning on not being in Boston, and if the Bruins are ready to move on in really a new era, the post-Bergeron era, you would have to say. Because Bergeron has been with the team in many of its iterations, and the several that have challenged for Stanley Cups. You had the 2011 team, you had the 2013 team, and you had the 2019 team that all challenged for the Stanley Cup. Of course, 2011 won, but he's been part of all of that. He made a I think he also made a comment that he did want to play in the Winter Classic, which is next season will be in Boston again, and it'll be at Fenway Park, and he wanted to play at Fenway again. Of course, the Bruins played there a while ago, and they, I think in the third Winter Classic, so he would want an opportunity to do that again. And maybe Boston goes year to year. You could see them going year to year, but this season he played 73 games, so it's not out of lag. He wasn't injured. He played most of the season. He scored 25 goals. He's still good for 25 goals. That's fantastic production numbers for a guy at his age. 40 assists, 65 points. I mean, those are good numbers and he's a plus 26. Only 32 penalty minutes taken in those 73 games. And in the postseason, in a 7-game series, he scored 3 goals. He had 7 points. He was a point per game player during the 7-game playoff series, and was a plus 3. And in Game 7 today, he put up an assist and was plus 1. So the Boston lost 3-2. It was a close game, and he put up some numbers. So the first 2 games he was out of it for the most part. In games 6 and 5, but Game 6 was a victory for Boston. So there he put up 4 shots, and his ice time, he averaged 18 minutes and 29 seconds of ice time in the last 5 games of this series. So he put up numbers. He put up good numbers. And in fact, the entire series he was 18 minutes and 12 seconds of ice time, which is not far from his career playoff numbers at 19 minutes and 30 seconds. So he hasn't really trailed off. And let me see what his average production numbers are over the course of an 82-game season. So an 82-game average for him is, let's see, trying to see if Hockey Reference does this or not. I would hope so, because they do it in Baseball Reference, but Hockey Reference is a little different. I guess not. I guess they're not. They don't have that stat, but I mean, he's been good, and I would think he is a Hall of Famer, given the longevity. Let me look at some more stats here. He's been pretty consistent his entire career, playing time wise as well. 2007-08 was really the only season where he was majorly injured. But he's been a workhorse and reliable for Boston since he started playing back in 2003-04. And he's been pretty good, averaging. Let me see if trying to see if StatMuse gives us an average or not, but I guess not. Trying to see if that will reveal itself here. Nope, I don't think so. But regardless, we can kind of sort of figure it out just from the eyeball test of the numbers here. I mean, he's not a guy that will score you 40 plus for 50. He's not one of those guys that amasses that much, but he's one of the all-around great players. That's his game. Alexander Barkov has been compared a lot to Bergeron, So Bergeron, I mean, he had some good numbers, posting up 30, 32, 30. 32 was the most he's ever scored in a single season. And the most points he's ever collected in a single season was 79, which was back when in their Stanley Cup Finals run in 2019. That was really the best season of his career. 65 games and 32 goals, 47 assists, 79 points. So Bergeron, it seems like it doesn't matter the age, just has consistent production, and I mean, he'd be incredibly valuable to a team. Like I feel like Boston would re-sign him because it only makes sense. They've of course are not going to give him a massive contract, but I could see a 2-year deal. You're expecting production to go down, sure. I mean, but he still scored 25 goals this past season, which is really, honestly, you could say that's his average. That's his average numbers, around 25. So he's still giving you that. I would say a 2-year deal, which would take him to the age of 38, would be pretty good. I mean, NHL players of his caliber, they do last a long time in their careers. Maybe into it, he could play into his 40s possibly if he's conditioned well and no horrible injuries. And Boston's, I mean, they amassed how many points did they finish with this season? Definitely 100 plus, because every Eastern Conference team did finish with at least 100. See, Boston finished with 107 points. That's so they're not going to trail off at it. And the thing is, would Bergeron want to command his going rate right now as far as salary is concerned? Because that's the other question, is you have to think about the salary cap. Can Boston fit him in with the rest of what they've got? So let's get back to cap friendly now, and I'll let's take a look at some of these other things. Let's see, game log. That's loading up. So of course we took a look at the game logs from the playoff series there, but still, I mean, put up good numbers in a 7-game series. It was a point per game player, so he came to play. You can say that much. He came to play. I mean, even his home and road splits are fairly even. Of course, does a lot better at home than on the road, but still. And he factors well in all the victories for Boston. Let's see. And let's see, what team did he feast on most this season as far as points were concerned? You've got Detroit, which makes sense, and then Detroit and Buffalo, both make a lot of sense there with regards to which teams he feasted upon this season. So I mean, I think that he definitely is a Hall of Famer. I just needed to really look at his numbers to kind of get a gauge of it, and like he defines the Boston Bruins in this era. Aside from Brad Marchand and maybe Tuukka Rask, he defines this era of Bruins hockey, and this era of Bruins hockey is important to the NHL history, really, because the Boston Bruins, heck, people were counting them out to kind of go down as far as getting back into a rebuild, but Boston retooled their team from one iteration to another, which is very commendable, and Patrice Bergeron has been part of that. He's been part of every iteration of the Bruins since he came in in 2003. He's seen so many different iterations of the team, and yet he's the constant. So he is a Hall of Famer. He's definitely going to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Now, of course, it's just a matter of how does he end his career? Will it be in Boston? I say he will resign. I feel like that's what would happen. He's made tons of money already. At this point, it's really just how he feels. And he's been in Boston his whole career. He could be one of those few players that could say, hey, I played for one team for my entire career. Because other guys can't say that. Some guys playing right now can't say, the team that I cheer for, the Florida Panthers, they got Claude Giroux. I'm sure he would have loved to have been one of those guys for Philadelphia, but it just didn't come to be, and he wants to go find his Stanley Cup ring. And so Patrice Bergeron can be one of those guys. And really his productions says that he really shouldn't retire. He has nothing more to prove. That's another thing. In my opinion, he's got nothing more to prove. He's made it. He's a Hall of Famer. He'll have his number retired in Boston. He's got his Stanley Cup ring. His name is etched on the cup. He's done everything at this point. Now it's just a matter of, well, does he want one more chance at a ring? Because, I mean, Boston's still got as good a puncher's chance as anyone of trying to get one more. Or does he sign someplace else? I mean, he's from Quebec. It'd be weird to see him sign with Montreal, especially because they're Boston's main rival. And I don't know, that would be really, really, really strange, just seeing him play for Montreal. Montreal was the worst team. They're in a rebuild right now. Unless he wants to be closer to home. And I don't know much about Patrice Bergeron, whether he makes his home out of Boston or if he has it in Quebec. If it's in Quebec, then sure, I could see him playing for a Montreal team closer to home. But it would be really, I feel like that would be a shame, to be honest. I would rather him finish his career in Boston, just to have that distinction of being one of those guys. Heck, not even some of the great ones out there were like Wayne Gretzky didn't play his entire career in one place. I mean, but could Bergeron, right? Could Bergeron? I think he could be one of those guys where if he's not in Boston, he's not anywhere, which I think would be a fitting ending anyways. But even this ending doesn't feel right. And I feel like a lot of hockey players don't really, a few guys don't really announce that it's their final year. They just kind of go out, and maybe unlike baseball players, like baseball players will announce, hey, this is it for me. A lot of baseball players, especially the significant ones, the real significant ones, they'll announce it's their final year, and then they they get the whole farewell tour treatment. So I think Bergeron at least deserves that. A final season, have Boston fans kind of show him out. I feel like that would be really cool to see. Not the whole, or not even have him go away and then plays for someplace else, and then he decides to retire and he does the whole 1-day contract thing just to retire as a Bruin. I don't even want to see that, to be honest. But the big decisions for him this coming off season for sure. And look, maybe all this will be moot. But Bergeron, really, he also deserves to go anywhere he wants, to be honest. I can't see a team that wouldn't take him, outside of just having cap issues. I can't see that a team won't take hey man, let's give him a 2-year contract and see how it goes. That wouldn't be a bad idea for a lot of teams out there, especially teams that could could really use some veteran leadership. A guy that's been there, a guy that's done everything. I mean, I could see like Steve Yzerman bringing him into Detroit to show those youngins in the Red Wings got, because I feel like the Red Wings are biding their time right now. They're letting this era of the Lightning, really the Lightning, kind of overseeing the Atlantic Division with Florida, Boston, and Toronto as contenders. I feel like Detroit's just biding their time and then ready to strike, and maybe even Ottawa too, but really Detroit. I feel like Detroit's really going to have something special come a few years from now. And Patrice Bergeron maybe could be that guy to bridge that gap to the new contention for the Red Wings. I could see that happening. Okay, well, I think that's it for me. I did like this solo discussion for myself. Guys, you can follow us everywhere on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, podcast. I'll upload this at some point as well to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible. We're on everything. And y'all have a lovely good night. Thanks for joining me here on Sports Goose After Dark. I'll play us out with some music. Take care.